Do you think you know drag racing? Think again. Most people are not aware of the strategy, the skill, the preparation, the practice that goes into every race. I've been drag racing and bracket racing my El Camino for more than 20 years. I'm going to shatter the top 5 myths that non-racers and some racers believe. Let's go. Myth number 1. It's all about speed. This is actually something that most racers I've raced with, myself included, hardly think about. For most, it's about the acceleration, the feel of getting pushed back into the seat while the nose of the car heads towards the sky. The feeling of acceleration is far more thrilling than the speed on the top end of the track. It's also about the precision of cutting a good light and having the car meet the predicted time at the end of the track. To me, and many others, it's about the experience of being in a car that we've built and making it do things that it really wasn't ever meant to do. Engineers from the factory never thought that this 82 El Camino would be doing what it's doing right now. Myth number 2, you must be some kind of adrenaline junkie to do this. Well, only sort of. I can't completely say that the adrenaline isn't at least a factor in this. The truth is that adrenaline makes some of this harder. Don't get me wrong, I love the feel of the car on launch, but I actually really like that time between the burnout and the starting line. This is where the adrenaline actually makes it harder for me. I need to focus on getting the car staged up exactly where I want it so that I can get my reaction time exactly where I want it. Being able to focus through the adrenaline hit of the burnout and then letting it take over on launch is like nothing else I've ever experienced. The feeling of getting the shifts right and coming through the finish line side by side with your opponent is absolutely amazing. I do this because I love the sport. The adrenaline is just a bonus. Myth number 3, it's simple, you're just driving in a straight line. The going straight is the easy part, but that's only a very small part of this game, and there is a huge number of things to keep track of. I'm watching the weather on my weather station to determine what the car is going to run, and if I need to make any changes to my tune or the dial-in, I need to pay attention to the staging lanes to make sure I get where I need to be. Know who I'm racing, and I'm paying attention to the track officials. I got to get the car in the burnout box correctly. I got to get the burnout correct to get the tires warmed up the way I want to. Then get the car staged up as precisely as possible to react to the tree dropping so that I can cut the best possible reaction time. Pay attention to what the car did on the launch in case there's anything that needs to be addressed down the track. I need to hit the 1-2 shift, spot my opponent, make sure I'm going the right direction, catch the 2-3 shift, spot my opponent again, make the decision of what I'm going to do. Are they ahead? Are they behind? What's going on? What's the rate of closure look like? Make sure I'm still going in a straight line. All the while I'm going back and forth between where am I? Where's the finish line? Where's my opponent? Either ahead of, behind me? What are they doing? What's their position on track? As you can see, this is solving a math problem at a high rate of speed. Going straight is just the tip of the iceberg. Myth number 4, this is a rich man's sport and it's only for purpose-built race cars. Now, I can see how many people get there, especially with how prevalent we're able to see these races in ultra-fast cars. We're able to see the no-prep cars. We see Kai Kelly going way fast at races that he shouldn't be winning, yet he is. We get to see pro mods, blower cars, turbo cars, high-end nitrous cars. It looks like it's all just a pile of money. But let me tell you, it actually doesn't have to be. I started racing my El Camino when I was 16 years old. Believe it or not, this is my first car. I still have it, and I'm going to keep going with it because I love the car. But when I started, I had maybe $3,200 into the car. That's included buying the car, any repairs that needed to be done. First time down the track, this thing went 19.6 seconds at a blistering 68 miles an hour. This car was not fast. It was slow. And you know something? I've slowly worked on it over time, and in my entire racing career, I've raced everything you can possibly imagine. I've raced Kias, I've raced Toyota Camrys, I've raced 7-second motorcycles, I've raced 8-second dragsters, 9-second altereds. I've raced everything under the sun. I've raced Hellcat Dodges, I've raced straight 6 powered Mustangs. It doesn't matter. You can get out there and go bracket racing with whatever car you have in the driveway. Guy I race with has a 13-second 4-cylinder turbo Mustang that's actually pretty entertaining to race with because of how the thing acts on the track. The point of the matter is that you can use whatever car you have, whether it's a 63 Mercury Comet with a small block Chevy stuffed in the nose. Yes, I've seen it. It's actually a pretty cool car. But the point of the matter is you can get started racing with whatever car you have right now. Myth number 5, it's pedal to the metal. It's all guts. There's no brains involved in this sport. I think I've been able to show that there's a large number of things that go into this. There's a lot of data acquisition. There's a lot of preparation. There's a lot of understanding what the car is going to do on the track. And don't get me wrong, that it does take some guts to be able to hold on to the car that you're racing. You know, street cars aren't going to have near as much of a problem, but there's some times where if the car gets out of shape, you need to be hyper aware of what's going on so that way you can correct it and keep it shiny side up and in your lane. And believe me, some people take this sport way far and geek out on the numbers and, dissect every thousandth of a second. Yeah, I do. It's me. I get it. That's what I love about this sport, is there's a way to enjoy this for everyone. You can be out there enjoying the car that you've built, your classic that you just restored. Yes, I've seen it. Beautiful 56 Chevy out there with a 283, and he was enjoying the heck out of the car. Wasn't going that fast, but he was enjoying it. He was enjoying his car. The point of this sport is to be able to get out there, to use your car that you've built, take pride in ownership, and just enjoy it. So I hope I was able to show that there's a lot more to this sport than meets the eye. Like I brought up earlier, it's like solving a math problem at 100 miles an hour. But that's also part of the fun, is geeking out on the numbers. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Let's get out there and go racing.